Yeah, Harsha, unmute your mic, Hamna. Yes, who can hear me now? Hamna, Harsha.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm going to start with arithmetic progression today. As we left the chapter in between, so let us do the exercise again, 5.1. So first of all, what is an arithmetic progression? So if you remember, it's a special kind of sequence. First of all, what is a sequence? As I explained. Okay. So sequence is any arrangement of numbers which follow a certain rule. Okay. So we have to identify basically that rule which is followed. So arithmetic progression is also a special sequence where a certain rule is followed. So let us try to find out what is the rule followed in an arithmetic progression, right? That's the definition of AP. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is an AP? So the rule is followed is this, that the first term, if the first term is denoted by A, first term is, let's say, A, right? Then the second term is written like this. A certain number is added to each term. That is A plus small, let's say a D is a number which I add, right? Then the third term will be written like this. So again, in the second term, one more D will be added. So A plus 2D, right? Then for the fourth term, again, one more term D will be added. So A plus 3D, like that. So the same number small d will be added in every subsequent term. So the kind of sequence which will be obtained after this will be called an arithmetic progression, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this fixed number which I'm adding, this is called the common difference. Right? It is understood that if you subtract any subsequent term, you will get d because you are adding d, right? You are adding d, so on subtraction, you will get d. So this is called common difference d, which if you want to obtain, you can write a n plus 1 minus of a n. That means any nth and nth n plus 1 term you can use to find d, right? You can use a4 minus of a3, you can do a2 minus of a1, you can do a10 minus a9. So any two term you can take and you can find the common difference. Now if you look at this pattern here, so first term is a, right? Now the second term is a plus 1d, then the third term is a plus 2d, fourth is a plus 3d, that means one less. So I can write the nth term like this. So it will be a plus, then you have n minus 1 into d, right? This is the nth term of the AP. And this is how you find the common difference. So only this much you required for first exercise. Okay. Let us start with exercise 5.1 now. I'll start with question number 2. Question 1 we will do afterwards. Question number 2 is easy, that write first 4 terms of the AP when the first term is given and the common difference D is given. So let me take the second part. So the first term is minus of 2. Okay, let me take the first part, I think. First term is 10 and the common difference is also 10. So you have to write the 4 terms of the AP, right? Okay, so you start with the formula that AN, that means the nth term. Here you can write AN, I didn't write it. Nth term is actually denoted by AN, right? So AN is A plus n minus 1 into d. So you are interested in a2, that means second term. So a plus 2 minus 1 into d, right? Put the values. So a is 10 plus 1 into 10. So that becomes 20. Find a3 now. So a plus 3 minus 1 into d. Again, 10 plus 2 into 10, that is 20 plus 10, 30. So then a4, a plus 4 minus 1 into d, that is 10 plus 3 into 10, that becomes 40. So the first four terms are first term is a, that is 10. Next a2, that is 20, 30 and 40. Right, Hamna? Yes, Harsha, have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you will solve, both of you will solve the fifth part of this problem here, where the first term a is minus of 1.25 and common difference d is minus 0.25. So you find a2, a3 and a4. So if there is any problem, then let me know. But do it right now.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, so check the answer in the book. Right. Third question now. Okay, rest of the parts are your homework. You will complete it. For the following APs, right? This time it is already given that it is an AP. So let me take the fourth part. 0.6, then 1.7, then 2.8 and 3.9. This is the given AP. You have to write the first term and common difference. Right? First term is, you can see A is 0.6, right? and A or A1 we call it. Then your A2 here is 1.7, and then A3 for this AP is 2.8, and A4 is 3.9. Now the common difference D is A n plus 1 minus of A n. So any you can take. Let me take A3 minus of A2. So 2.8 minus A2 is 1.7. So you can do like subtraction here, right? 1, then decimal 1, so 1.1. This is the common difference, right? Okay, so rest of the parts you can do. It's easy. Question number 3. Now question number 4.
Ma'am, can you scroll up once?
Okay. I mean, you just please write in words also, right? Whenever you are writing. So the first term is A, and D, you write the common difference. That common difference you are calling D. So common difference D is equal to this.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Fourth question now. Which of the following are AP? So this is not given that it is an AP. If they form an AP, then you have to find the common difference and 3 more terms. Okay, D you have to find. Which part you want me to take up?
Ma'am, 5.
Okay, fifth. So 3, then we have 3 plus under root 2. Then 3 plus 2 under root 2, and 3 plus 3 under root 2, and so on. So to check whether it is an AP or not, A1 is 3, right? A2 is 3 plus under root 2, and A3 is 3 plus 2 under root 2. A4 is 3 plus 3 under root 2. Now you check A2 minus A1. So 3 plus under root 2 and minus of 3. So 3 minus 3, and it will be under root 2. Then you check A3 minus of A2. So it is 3 plus 2 under root 2, and minus A2 is 3 plus under root 2. So you open the bracket, 3 plus 2 under root 2 minus of 3 and minus of under root 2. So 3 gone, 2 root 2 minus root 2 under root 2 will remain. So I'm getting the same difference, right? You can check for the third, which is because it is already given term, so you have to check for this also. A4 minus A3, 3 plus 3 root 2. So you can directly see 3 gone, root 3 minus, so again under root 2 you will see. So the difference is same. So therefore it is an AP. So you will write the difference is same. So therefore it is an AP. Right? And in the question it is given that if they form an AP, find the common difference D. So this is the common difference, right?
Yes, ma'am.
With common difference. So complete the sentence. The difference is same. It is an AP. Therefore, it is an AP with common difference under root 2. Okay, now you do 11th part. Okay, Hamna? Do the 11th part here.
Ma'am, we should find 3 more terms also, right?
And write 3 more terms. Oh yes, you have to write 3 more terms, right? So that means up to A4 you know, and you have to write A5 and A6 and A7. This also you have to write, right? So basically now you know small d and A you know. So your A is 3 and your small d is under root 2. So you can write, again start with the formula that an is A plus n minus 1 into t. So your fifth term will become A plus then 5 minus 1 into t, and you put the values now. So 3 plus 4 into d is under root 2. So 3 plus 4 under root 2 will be the fifth term. Similarly, A6 and A7 you can find.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, so A6 and A7 also you can find, and then you can write. Then therefore the next 3 terms are this. Okay, now do the 11th part. Check whether it is an AP or not. A square, A cube, A4. Yeah, is it an AP or not?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Harsha.
Ma'am, can you explain it?
Now the question is this: A square, A cube, A4, right? This is the given sequence. You have to check whether it is an AP or not. So you check, I mean, this is your A1, right? This is your A2, this is your A3, this is your A4. So you check A2 minus A1. So you get A square minus of A, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you can do, take A common, that's it. So A minus 1. Then A3 minus of A2 you do. Now A3 means A cube minus of A square. So you take A square common and you get A minus 1. So obviously the difference is not same. So you don't have to check the next one because here itself the difference is not same. And the definition of the AP is that the common difference is same, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can see this is not same, so it is not an AP. You will write difference is not same, so it is not an AP. So I suppose you will complete all the parts now. 12th one, can you try? Under root 2, under root 8. Quickly, this under root 2. I mean, do it roughly, then later on you can write it properly in your copy. Yes, Hamna, is it an AP or not? Yeah, Hamna, please unmute yourself. Yes, Harsha, is this AP?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, fine. So I hope you will complete this. Let me take up exercise 5.2 now, which is also based upon the same formulas. Okay. Mm. Yes, can you see the question on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now fill in the blanks in the following table. So there are 4 things: A, D, small n, and an, right? So these are the 4 informations here, and one of the information is missing. So you have to find the missing information. Now you look at this formula first of all. Nth term, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into t, right? Now it has 4 unknowns. One is the nth term, then a, then it has n, then it has t, right? So in one equation, if only one variable is missing, then you can find its value, isn't it? To find,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, to find one variable, you need one equation. If you have 2 missing variables here, you will require 2 equations. So you can see 3 are always given. Only one is not given. So simple, just put it in the formula, find the 4th one. That's it. Okay. So if I take, let's say, last is simple, you have to find an. First is also simple. Let me take the second one. So this time your A is minus of 18, right? D you don't know, and n is given 10, and an is given, that is 0. So put it in the formula. An is 0 is equal to a plus, that is minus of 18 plus n minus 1, that is 10 minus 1 into d, which you have to find. So bring this 18 here. 18 is equal to 9d and d is equal to 2. Simple, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I leave it for you to complete?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Second question. Is Rida in the class? No, she's not here today. Right. Let's see the second question. Now choose the correct choice in the following and justify. First, the 30th term of the AP is like you have to find. So AP is given, that is 10, 7, 4 and dash dash dash. So so here that means your first term A is 10, right? The common difference D is A2 minus of A1, that is 7 minus of 10, that is minus of 3. Fine. Okay. You want 30th term, so find A30. A30 is A plus 30 minus 1 into D. A is 10 plus, that is 29 into D is minus of 3, that is 10 minus how much is it? 3 into 9 is 27, then carry 2, 6, 7, 87, right? Minus of 77. So the 30th term is this, minus of 77. Fine, Hamna. So I'm again leaving the second part for you to complete. Okay, done, Harsha?
Ma'am, just 1 minute. Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay. Third part now. Look at the third question. Yeah. Now, in the following APs, so it is given that it is an AP. Okay. Find the missing term. So the definition of the AP is this, that it is like this: A into A plus D into A plus 2D into A plus 3D, right? This is how the terms should be in an AP. Understood? If it is an
Yes, ma'am.
AP. Okay, so we will use this definition here. Now come to the first one. You have to find the missing box. So the middle term is not here. So like if I call it X, for example, so I know that X minus 2 will be the common difference. This should be equal to 26 minus X, isn't it? Okay, sorry. Before this, you write this thing. Don't take it X. Okay, let the missing term is X, right? So basically now your A1 is 2, fine. Your A2 is X and your A3 is 26. This is your AP. Now, if this is an AP, the common difference is same. So D is equal to A2 minus A1, which should also be equal to A3 minus A2, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so A2 minus A1 is X minus of 2. This should be equal to 26 minus of X. So you just solve it to find X. So X plus X, 2X, 26 plus 2 is 28. X is 14. Right?
Done, ma'am.
Hmm. Okay, second part now. Because now you have 4 terms, okay? So you cannot do it with the common difference here. Because in the first part only one term was missing, so I called it x. But in the second term, obviously the terms are not same, so I cannot call them x and x. How will you do it? Let the first term is a, right? You can say that let first term is equal to a, right? And common difference is d. So common difference is equal to d. So I'm denoting by a and d. Now what is given to me? This is a2 which is given, right? A2 which is given, and this is A4 which is given, correct? A1, A2, A3, A4.
Yes.
So A2 should be equal to A plus 2 minus 1 into D, right? Now A2 is 13 which is given. So A plus 2 minus 1, that is 1 into D. So this is my equation number 1. That's it. Now A4 is given, right? So A4 should be equal to A plus 4 minus 1 into D. Now A4 is 3 is equal to A plus 3D. This is your equation number 2, because you don't know A and D, both are variables. But now you have two equations for two variables. You can solve it, right? Linear equation in
Yes.
two variables. Now find out A and D from here quickly. Just subtract, so A will get cancelled out, okay? Subtract the first equation from the second, or second from the first, whatever. Yes, Hamna, how much is A and D here? Unmute your mic, Hamna. Yes, Harsha, how much is A and D? Have you solved it?
Ma'am, D is -5 and A is 17.
D is minus of 5 and A is 17. Are you sure? Or should I do it?
Ma'am, A is 18.
A is, yes, Hamna, you are saying something?
Ma'am, I was saying A is 18
And D?
and D is 5.
Okay, D is 5
Minus 5.
or minus 5. Good. So I have to check now, right? All right, just subtract, right? Any one equation you can subtract from the other. So subtracting, let's say a second from 1, correct? Okay. So second from 1 I'm doing. So 13 minus of 3, right? Is equal to A plus D and minus A plus 3D. Fine, Harsha?
Yes, ma'am.
Just solve it now. So this is 10 is equal to a plus d minus, open the bracket, a and minus of 3d. So a get cancelled out. So 10 is equal to minus of 2d. So d should be minus of 5. Okay, that's right. Now you put it in, let's say, second. So 3 is equal to a plus 3 into minus of 5. So 3 is equal to a minus of 15. And a is 3 plus 15. So 18. Fine. Now you have got a and d, and the missing terms are what? A1 and A3. So A1 is basically a. Fine. So your a here is d is minus of 5. So this is correct. So a is 18, and another missing term here is this A3.
8.
Yeah. So A3 you can just use the formula a plus 3 minus 1 into d. Now put a and d and find out. Now, if you look at this question again, so you can see that part second and part fifth are like almost same. In part fifth also, two terms are given. So again, you are going to get two equation in two variables, which you can solve for a and d. Fine, Harsha?
Okay, ma'am.
Now this time a2 and then how much? 3, 4, 5, 6. A6 is given to you. So you use the formula, you will get two equations, you will get a and d, and then you will find the missing terms. That is a1, a3, a4, a5. Right? Okay. Now third and fourth part, I think, yeah, they are looking same. In this, your cap A is already given, right? And then now here you cannot subtract to find D because the next two terms are not given, isn't it? Now you look here, third part, A is given, right? First term. But second term is also not given. Third is also not given. So you cannot subtract to find small d. So again, you have to do something else. Just give it a thought. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, I'm just coming. Just 1 minute I need. Yes, Harsha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, this is the third part now. Now see what is given here. So you know small a is given, that is 5, right? And then a2 is missing and a3 is missing, and then a4 is given, that is 9 1 by 2. So this becomes 19 by 2, right? Okay. Now a is given. So if I write a4, so a4 should be equal to a plus 4 minus 1 into t, right? A4 is given, that is 19 by 2 is equal to 5 plus 3 into d. So I can solve it for d, right? So 19 divided by 2 and minus of 5 is equal to 3d. So now you take LCM. So 19 minus 10 is equal to 3d. and then you have 9 by 2 is equal to 3D, and then it will divide it by 3. So 3 by 2, right, is your D. So you have got the D. Now you know A, you know D, any term you can write, isn't it? So you are interested in A2, that becomes A plus 2 minus 1 into D. Now A is 5 plus 1 into 3 by 2. That becomes 5 plus 3 by 2. And that becomes 10, 13 by 2, right? Similarly, you can write A3. Fourth part is also same. For A is already given, use the last term to find D and then find all the terms, okay?
Done, ma'am.
Okay, so fourth part you can do. Now come to fourth question. Now which term of the AP is 78? So the AP is this 3, 8, 13, 18, right? This is the AP. So you have to tell that 78 is which term. So what are you interested? You are interested in N, right? You want to
Yes,
find
ma'am.
N, okay. So whatever information is given, you write A is 3 and D becomes A2 minus of A1 and that is 8 minus of 3 and that is 5, right? And then your nth term is A plus N minus 1 into D. Now this time N is not given, everything else is given. So AN is already 78. You can write let 78 is the nth term of the AP, okay? So this is the nth term. So AN is this. 78 is equal to A is 3 plus and D is 5. Now quickly solve it and tell me how much is N.
Ma'am, 16.
Okay, N is 16. So you will write hence. You can write in sentence hence 78 is the 16th term or A16 is 78. That's it. Okay. Now fifth question. Find the number of terms in each of the following AP. You have to find the number of terms. Now what is given to you? A is 7 and 13 and 19. Now this time the last term is given. So there's a formula of having last term. I gave you. Yeah, anybody remember that formula which involved the last term? Okay, let's not use that. We will use that later. You do it with this formula itself. Find the number of terms. Again, you are interested in n, right, Harsha?
Yes, ma'am.
Number of terms. So again, let 205 is the nth term of the AP. So the formula is an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. From here you write your a is 7 and d is 13 minus 7, which is how much? 6, right? So this is already given, and a is 7 plus n minus 1 into d is 6. Now solve it and find n. So that will give you the number of terms. Okay, no need of the last formula here. Tell me how much is n.
Ma'am, 34.
34. Okay, right. So second part also I'm leaving for you. Same way you have to find n. Okay. Sixth question now. Check whether minus 150 is a term of the AP. So AP is this 11, 8, 5 and 2. So A is 11 and D is 8 minus of 11, that is minus of 3. You have to check that minus 150 is a term or not. So you will say that okay, we cannot let because we don't know it is a term or not, right? So we cannot let it. We will simply use an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. And we put this minus of 150 at the nth term, and we will see whether our n is an integer or not. I mean positive integer or not, right? So if n is coming in fraction or something else, so that means that this minus 150 is not the nth term. Okay.
Yes.
D is minus of 3. So you solve it. So minus of 150 is equal to 11 plus, or you bring this minus of 3 into n minus 1. Then minus of 150 is equal to 11 minus of 3n and plus of 3. So minus of 150 is equal to 11 plus 3 is 14 minus of 3n. So you bring it here. So 164 is equal to 3 of n, right? No, 160. Yeah, I think right. Okay. So n will be 164 divided by 3, which is equal to like 3 into 5 is 15, then 14. So 3 into 4 is 12, then 2 remainder. It is coming like this. 54 2 by 3. Please check the calculation. I mean, it's not a positive integer, right? Which is not a positive integer. So you will write hence minus 150 is not a term of AP. Fine, Harsha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next question, 7th. See, formula is just one formula you are using in the whole exercise. Sometimes something is given, something is missing. You have to just understand it and do. So 7th. Now given the 30, find the 31st term. So A31 you have to find, right? Whose 11th term is 38.
So A11 is given, which is 38. And 16th term, so A16 is 73. Now, wherever A and D is not given, Harsha, at least 2 terms will be given. Right, Hamna? Okay. Now, from these two, you will get 2 equations in A and B, which you can solve to find A and D, and then any term you can find. Got the point?
Yes, ma'am.
So A11 is given. That means you write like this: A11 is equal to A plus 11 minus 1 into D. So this is your equation number 1, right? And similarly, A16 is given. So A16 will be A plus 16 minus 1 into D. I mean, you put A11 and A16 and then solve them. You will get A and D, and then you can find A31. Okay. So I'm not doing it. 8th question.
Ma'am, but how will we find A and D?
Oh, I mean, okay, I have not completed it now. You have to, in place of A11, you write 38 is equal to A plus 10D. Now, is it okay? This is your equation number 1,
Okay,
basically.
ma'am.
Okay. So this was the hint I was giving, actually.
Okay.
Now, 8. An AP consists of 50 terms, right? So, of which third term is 12. So, A3 is 12. And the last term is 106. Now, total terms are 50. So, that means A50 is 106. Understood? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Same question. So, I'm not doing it. A29 you have to find. Now, can you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Write equation for A3, write equation for A50, solve it to find A and D and find A29. Now, 9th question. If the third and the 9th term of an AP are, again, 2 terms are given, right? So, A3 is given, that is 4. A9 is given, that is minus of 8. Which term of this AP is 0? So, first of all, you have to find A and D, right? Now you solve it, Harsha, right here and find A and D first of all.